Hi folks, I'm Joe, the host of this channel, and I'm here to talk to you about NixOS and Nix in general, and how it can make your life better. So why don't we just get down to it, and let me show you a small presentation. Let me share it with you. So I wrote some points just to have some guidance. Let me make it a little bigger so you all can see it. So, have you ever found yourself in a situation that you switch computers for one or other reason, and you now have to reproduce all the small details, all the tweaks, all the configuration, and it will never be the same as it was because reproducibility. Have you ever had to, for example, write painstakingly accurate documentation to get newbies up to speed in your company? Or I don't know, you try to download a program, source code from GitHub, try to build it, find out that certain libraries don't work the way you expected, you miss dependencies, sometimes it's even an impossible problem to solve because of versioning in your distro or in your system. So I think we all can relate to these situations, especially if you work in tech. So what is Nix? Nix comes as a solution to these kind of things, and it's overall Nix is many things, but foremost Nix is a language and a package manager, and NixOS is an operating system that fully functions with Nix and embraces it for everything, and it pretty much uses the Nix package manager and the Nix language for configuration. Nix is cross-platform, so that's a really interesting and appealing characteristic of it. It uses a model where software packages are all installed in their own little boxes, sandboxes, you could think about it in this way, and they're totally not influenced by each other. So imagine a simple, some silly use case like you want to run some old version of Firefox and you also want to run the latest version of Firefox in the same machine at the same time. You could do this with Nix, and this is a power that, as a developer or as a more advanced user, you really can use. One of the interesting things and interesting ways in which this is accomplished. So the Nix store, let me quickly show you a little example. So when I say which ls, you will notice that it's not in bin, in the traditional /user/bin. So there are some symlinks to the Nix store from all kinds of places. So you can see that my ls program is symlinked to somewhere in the Nix store, and that's by design. And if you look in /bin, you will find that there's an sh that's also symlinked to somewhere in the Nix store, but this is mostly like for compatibility purpose and such. So these are some very interesting things. There's also like this insane ability to use temporary shells and per project shells, which allows to have per project different versions of things. So how is the ecosystem, you may wonder? Nix packages is actually the largest repository of packages in the world. Upwards of 80,000 packages as of today, and it's just they're up to date. They're it's so reliable. I can't stress it enough. Also, it's very interesting that this package manager and these repos, they compile software in a cross-platform manner and cross-architecture. So you may run Nix on Raspberry Pis or all kinds of devices, on Macs, on ARM Macs as well, and it's really amazing. You can share the software, share the configs. I can open here Nix packages just to show you a little bit how this would
So
work.
today I'm going to show you how.
So you could come here and for Firefox, and you'll find a lot of things. And you could just grab this and immediately put it in your config and install it. So it's got a lot of things going for it. It's also got very interesting caching strategies, and it avoids you to build software locally most of the time. So Nix is a mix between a binary distribution and source distribution. So what I mean as binary distribution, I talk about things like Arch Linux, where you basically don't build any software from source on your machine. You download it from the repos. And from source distributions like Gentoo, like where everything is built on your local machine, you compile everything. In Nix you have a choice. You either use the caches, the distributed caches, and thus download binaries, or build from source if you don't want to use those caches. So it's really nice to have that choice. Then you have NixOS, which is an amazing distribution, amazing Linux distribution, and it uses that, as I was saying before, the Nix language for everything. Here you can see a little example of how this looks like, the Nix language. So in a very succinct snippet of code, we are already defining the bootloader for our machine, the mount points to enable SSH. Then we're also saying, start a PostgreSQL database with no authentication, just for demo purpose. Start it on this port, enabled service. So it's very clear language. It's very easy to pick up. It's a purely functional programming language, actually. So that might bring some new things for you if you're not familiar with it. Some of the interesting parts as well are that it's update model. It's really transactional. So you won't get updates that fail in the middle and leave your system in a broken state. What you will get is all or nothing. So either the entire system generation from the config worked or not, and that's it. You can also roll back. You can also at when you're booting your computer, you get the choice to just choose a different generation from a different point in time. You don't even need a special file system for this, like Butter file system. So this is really powerful. So everything can be rolled back. These kind of snapshots, if you will, you can also clean them to avoid filling your hard drive. So overall, there are really powerful features going for it. There's also user config management with Home Manager. So if you want to really manage all your program configuration, like your Vim configuration, your Emacs configuration, all these things, GTK, it all can be also configured via Nix. That will be done with Home Manager. So it's an extra addition to the Nix ecosystem. And if you combine NixOS with Home Manager, you get an entirely reproducible Nix setup, which is what I use. And I'm really happy about it. And I have so much peace of mind, to be honest with you. I'm really happy. So that's why I also wanted to record this video. Another great advantage that you have with Nix is you can specify what packages are installed on a system level or on a user level, and this is really nice. So you can have really per user setups that are totally independent of each other, and some of the things that I think we touched all the topics here.